The following broadcast is brought to you by Secular Lobster, Grampy Lobster, Clam Shack Chili House, House of Representatives. Folks, how you doing? Remember, if you're not watching this on the official 2018 Grampy Lobster channel, you're getting fucking played. Folks, we've got some fun tonight, folks. Guido, how you doing? Blue, Mudbrucker, always a pleasure. Spy the Man, Ultra Blaze, Twisted Skeptic, always a pleasure. Panda's in the house. Folks, we've got 11 fucking people watching. Thank you so much. Robin, hey, motherfuckers. Yeah, she thinks I Dove Kitty. How you doing? Apparently, I'm supposed to say, hey, motherfuckers, every time. I try to mix it up, folks. I try to, anyway, folks, boy, howdy. I got to tell you, I watched a video. I'm not going to play it, and I'm not going to go on for this for very long, but it seems like old chicken wings back. And, she talked about her, 3 marriages, which, folks, I can't say anything. I've been, Mrs. Lobster is my 4th. Sometimes it takes a while to get it right. I totally get that, and I got lucky with Mrs. Lobster. But that's not what we're talking about, It's just, her husband tried to kill her with a fucking hatchet, and my first wife was a fucking hooker. Jesus. She was a whore. So, ex-wives, ex-husbands, whatever the fuck. Anyway, so she's back, wow, gee whiz. And they had the saddest little, and it's cute that they can get together like that, and just yakety yak and, pretend they're in, junior high. And that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, Blue, come on, get with the times. Anyway, oops, Jesus Christ, folks. I am not only stoned, I'm actually fucking kind of clumsy today, but, So I'm watching that, and she was making innuendos that she got, Blue, that's because you're behind in the times. God, you're such a man. See, Blue, you pay attention to like so many things. Only certain things, right? There's a lovely world of lulls out there, Blue. You gotta. But anyway. So, her ex-husband's in prison, and if she can get him in prison, then, she can get us in prison, I guess, folks. I don't know if that's, and, Caleb said that, I wasn't going to get the respect that I wanted until I stopped being an asshole and stuff. And he called me an old motherfucker again, and not directly, because they don't want to have drama. They want to play with dolls. And Hannah wants her little chicken wing. Oh, she did this little dance thing. Oh, my God. We found it, and it's going to be so fucking funny to have fun with. Oh, my God. She dancing. I'm a little chicken wing. Hey, Big D, what's up, buddy? Buddy, what's up? Oh, God damn. But just to show how out of touch these motherfuckers are, so now I get on Caleb for, he's a little dweeb, and stuff like that. But not understanding like literally what he's up against, right? And hey, Blaze, what's up? And a lot of you, I've referred to Carl. Let's bring him up. Okay, there's Carl. Caleb made a little video. There's no sound or anything, but Carl's been my producer from pretty much day one, folks. Oh God, Blue, what do you want? A documentary? Oh, geez. She's a boring little. Anyway, she thinks COVID's not real, and she thinks masks are real, and she laughed at me when I was in the hospital. Okay, she may or may not have laughed at me. That may or may have been might have been a fucking sock account, but she thought it was kind of anyway. So it's oh god, but anyway, so Caleb made this video. Now people know like the whole story behind Carl, right? Carl's a stuffed bear. Okay. I used to have Carl on the back of my couch years ago with a gas mask bong on it and this Pawtucket Red Sox hat. And somebody asked me one day, who's that in the background? And I just flippantly said, that's Carl. He's my fucking producer, right? Caleb sock account. Leave me alone. Coming as Britney Spears and all, you know. But anyway, so it's anyway. But honestly, Carl was out about. But when that hasn't been, I mean, for the longest time. But anyway, and when people would always say, hey, Lobster, that's good. I'm not the best at taking compliments. So I would pass it up on Carl. You know, I just say, hey, Carl's my producer, whatever like that. You know, Carl likes it. It's all him, right? But so it was just this running thing. And I've got some memes, you know, Karate Carl studied the martial arts, Joy's a good, you know, Karate Carl. I have got one him as Karate Carl, one's Karate Kyle. So just the little memes that I put up with this. So Caleb seems to think that I play with fucking bears and shit. Oh God. I had to break Carl's heart, man. I put him in God, he was in a box for the longest time. And I was going to put him out. Oh, God, geez, I don't feel like being on camera, but I was going to like bring out Carl and go, are you talking about this thing? You know, Jesus, Carl was a New Year's bear from 2000 that Mrs. Lobster's had since 2000. Okay. And she's just always had it. And I used to put it up on the couch, you know, I mean, fuck, you know, anyway. So that was the whole bit on that. But he made this little video, you know, showing these. And there's, like I said, there's no sound. But this is supposed to pwn me and step Karate Kyle, Ninja of the Year, Mr. Green's Dojo 2009. There's Karate Carl, Super Ninja. There we go. So, yeah, producer of Secular Lobster Ministries. Yeah, that's Carl. That's the original fucking meme. You know, I just, you know, I hope you like, you know, going down memory lane. Yeah, Blue, Hannah's a long story. Uh-oh. Dr. Chicken Biscuits is in the fucking house. Oh, Jesus Christ. Chicken Biscuits, you're going to have to come in a while. But, folks, there's some shit that I just saw today. And I was going to do a stream earlier, but I was watching Ms. Parker, and I actually do other things. So I kind of, you know, I've had the whole day to myself, too. But Burnt Toast, hi, how you doing? And Burnt Toast, I'm so glad you are here because you'll see. But this first part here. Okay, what do I want to play first? Okay. Okay, let's play this one first.
And let's do this for the billionth fucking time on this stupid ass channel. All of these women and these guys tell me to go to the Netherlands and all this stuff. You're not gonna break me up from my wife. You're just not. Goodness. Because you must not have a concept of what true love is. Because when you have true love, anything that you say it's not going to trump the love that I have.
Well, a lot of things they're saying they're making up too.
Like what? Yeah, he's looking at her like, no.
Like what? Let's give evidence of that. Like what? What are they making up?
That I'm beating you?
Yeah, that's not true. I've said that a billion times. What else?
That I'm gaslighting you?
They don't know the definition of the word. You never do that. Go ahead.
No, apparently they don't know the definition. He doesn't. because, wow. Every time I hear of, oh God, this will show how far back I go. If anybody remembers Rob Beasley, that was the first time I ever heard the term gaslighting was really brought to prominence when the old Rob Beasley days. But
that I manipulate.
And if you don't know the story now,
no, manipulation is not the right word for
Stockholm
what it is.
syndrome.
No,
you tell me to stop yelling when I'm yelling.
Yes. That's called placing a boundary.
So we went through everything. Wow. Is
so
that everything?
Do you have to act like this toward me on video?
I know you can be bad,
This is asking.
Caleb.
You're bringing this stuff up. You're saying they're lying.
Never mind. I don't want this.
No, it's cool.
Shit. I don't want to post it because it makes me look bad.
No, it doesn't. No, I'm going through the lies and I'm correcting them. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look bad anyway.
How?
Because everything makes Shanny look bad.
I'm telling you, you don't look bad. You're bringing up the lies so that I can answer them.
Oh,
this is good.
She's calling him out. He's calling her out. See, there's a lie.
She's
Chicken
gorgeous, folks.
biscuits.
She'll be on. Oh, there's a call.
Chicken biscuits.
She'll be on live, probably in a little bit. But I think, okay, we covered enough of them then.
There's more lies.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of.
It's all the lies in our relationship. They're just trying to make it seem like we're breaking up, that we're fighting all the time, and we're not.
They're the ones. Look, they're the ones that put this stuff out there. So if they're not breaking up, I mean, well, then it's performance art, folks.
The lip splitting in half again.
Yeah, because you got mouthy.
So there you go. Mouthy. I mean, okay, we're splitting up. No, not true.
We're fighting all the time. Not true.
No, not all the time. We're not fighting all the time. No.
We barely fight.
Yeah, it's not often at all.
And
you know, see, that's something I got to tell you. The lie that you pretended to like tatted Mr. Grampy. Who the fuck is Harry Johnson? Oh, God. Marble mouth game. Oh, God. Chicken Biscuits is here for the beer and the bitches. Well, there's your, I'm not going to call any of the females in the side chat bitches they're Chicken Biscuits, but you go right ahead. And if you got some beer, man, send some my way. But I'm pretty fucked up. But yeah, they fight every day. And I got to, you know, in July, Mrs. Lobster and I will have been married 11 years, right? Been together 12. Okay. We've had disagreements. We've had issues with, you know, people that know our story. You know, there's been times that things got kind of tough, right? However, we've never had a fight. We've had a disagreement, or, you know, she's been a little pissed off at me a few times, or like gone in the other room, or, you know, I've said something, or it's whatever the fuck, but something to consider like a fight. I mean, and when people say, you know, oh, couples fight, you know, I mean, no, some couples don't, you know, and to watch this, all I see is like, all I think is, why in the fuck are you together? Unless it's an act, which I don't think it is. Harry Johnson, I think Gary Snowflake is doing okay. I'm gonna be talking about that, folks. We've got a surprise for everybody. I'm glad Mr. Johnson is in the room. Actually, if you're trying to like get me started, Mr. Johnson, but don't worry, folks. We have a special announcement. That's right, 20 hours. You know, but yeah, you know, not all couples fight, you know, I mean, and then put it on the internet and then claim you weren't fighting. And then, geez, this goes back to when me and Big C had to give them fucking couples therapy on in their live stream. Not once, but twice, folks. Me. And if those of you guys remember Big C, that was back when everybody was talking before all this shit got weird. But yeah, we sat there for over 2 hours twice on their stream, trying to ask them why, because they've never gotten along, even in the beginning. If you remember, they were picking at each other continuously. Me and Big C sat in their fucking room for a long time, twice. Go, no, this isn't how you treat or talk to the person you profess to love. Jules is in the room. Oh, shit. Jules is a hater. Oh, that's right. You know what, folks? There seems to be a little bit of lack of family here, folks. And if some of you are, I don't know, missing that special person in your life that, I don't know, a relative that you think, wow, why don't I have one? Folks, guess what? You can rent me. I can be your Grampy. I can be your Grampy Lobster officially for only $2.99 a month, folks, if you join Grampy Lobster. That's right, folks. I can be your official Grampy. Now, I'm not a role model, but I got to tell you, I'm Grampy Lobster. Anyway, so folks, if you feel like improving your life, your social status, consider joining Grampy Lobster. I know Twisted Skeptic did, and her life is improved on so many levels. That's right, City of the Silent. See, that's the thing, City of the Silent. You don't understand. We don't have perks. However, you can rent me for $2.99 a month. You know, so that's kind of a perk. I'm saying it's a win-win for everybody, City of the Silent. I'm just saying, right? So, and I can be like that silent relative that nobody has to hear from all the time, but we give him $2.99 a month and an occasional super chat. Super chats are nice, you know, because remember, folks, we're old and stuff like that. But okay, we've seen this one. This one's kind of, this one's kind of okay. Now, folks, we've got one more before we get into. And this is the one that kind of got me going. Folks, super chats are always nice, folks. I'm poor. I'm just kidding. Well, I am poor. Folks, I got to tell you, you know, people ask me, they go, you know, Grampy, Prairie Queen, how you doing? If you could be anywhere, if you could live anywhere, where would it be? I was like, you know, if I could live anywhere, I'd prefer to be exactly where I am right now. Because if you can't be happy where you are, if you can't be content, I mean, not content with everything, but if you can't be content with where you are and who you are, what makes you think you can be happy or content, like literally anywhere else, right? I mean, location, geography. If you're not going to be a happy person, folks, if you're going to blame everybody for all your shit in life, wow. Wow, there goes Grampy being a little, well, anyway, I just thought that was, anyway, but folks, this is the video that, okay, there's two more, there's this video, we're going to, okay, this one, some of you have seen this.
Folks, it's your friendly, reverend individual, and
I just don't like him.
It's just it's in the cards now. You know, we're fully in the cards with you know, full treatment of mental illness is coming out here.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I'm not against it. There are times when somebody needs a little bit of help, and I'm going to tell you. Dealing with internet trolls is sort of like trying to swat two frickin' flies that are in your bathroom that will not go away. It's the same thing.
I'm sorry, Rev. I don't have flies in my bathroom. I got these little tiny fucking moth things that fly through my window in the summertime and shit like that. But blue eyes, oh my God, blue eyes. Boy, it's a good thing because blue eyes is in the house. But I when I first started watching this, I thought, oh Jesus, Rev's gonna quit the internet again. But I don't know. But this just really.
It's the same thing. Whack-a-mole. It's like playing a video game where you're trying to literally get these little creatures out of your channel. But everybody from time to time needs to check their own standing, mentally wise, and just pray for everybody involved. Pray for.
Now, look, like I said before, okay, I know there's people out there that say, Grampy, well, you don't believe in a higher power or anything like that. So, as soon as somebody says, hey, Wiser, as soon as somebody says, oh, pray for somebody, this is literally the only thing Rev has, is to like pray for somebody, because once again, he's one of God's anointed. Let's talk about mentally ill people. I'm not making fun of people that are religious or like to go to church or love them some Jesus, but this dickhead literally thinks he's anointed by God. And like once I said before, the only anointing he ever had was Shanny pissing on his face.
The family that's involved, i.e. my family,
They include themselves.
But stuff happens, and people need their mental wellness check. That's what it is. That's
okay. So people need their mental wellness check. Now, is he? Oh, Anxiety Judy, God's anointed your ass. All right. You sound like a party girl. Just kidding. I love you guys.
That's all it is. So yeah, the point of this video is to say, if Shanny was planning on 50 in me, number one, what business is it of yours? Because
number one, if Shanny's planning on having you 5150'd, as he puts it, then she's pulling it on him. Because if you want to get somebody some sort of mental health treatment, if you want to have somebody put in the hospital, if you want to have somebody, look, folks, I got to tell you, I've been on both sides of, how shall we say, voluntarily going in before being like mandatorily. So I've been on both sides. I have. And literally calling a 5150 on the person that you profess to love. Okay. Instead of, I don't know, trick them into being at a certain place at a certain time, tell them the appointment. Just use so many ways you can go about. Use creativity. The last thing I would do ever was to call a 5150 on somebody that I profess to love because they were having a mental health breakdown or they thought that they needed to be in the hospital. Now, remember, Shanny tried pulling this on Rev the first time when she ended up getting handcuffed and, screaming all that shit. She tried to throw Rev on, So this isn't anything new with Rev. He Shanny would be worth 18 years of child support. Should be worth. Where the fuck is she going to come up with 18? See, that's the thing, I mean, this video here just, oops, wrong button.
You have no idea what I'm going through. And number two, maybe I friggin' need it.
Then go to a hospital. If you're to the point where you think that you might need to go to a hospital after careful consideration in the mind to say you're, I mean, you got to ask yourself, things just aren't right. I've driven myself. I think, well, I'm not going to, there's a video of me. I drove myself at 2:00 in the morning to Providence because I needed to go to the hospital. A lot of people, some people don't understand, some people don't know. I've got it, but I would have never had the police come to my house. I mean, that's asking people to take care of a situation that have no business being there. It just, the advice they give to each other is toxic. It really is. It's.
You don't know that. The person that knows that's an adult here is Shannon.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Weiser. You've been married for 30 years, never had the police department show up at your house. Look, I've been married, like I said, Mrs. Lobster and I will be married 12 years together in July, right? Oh, actually, 12 years together, more than that. Okay. Anyway, but still, we've never had the police at our house, and we've had issues, right? A lot of people that have mental health issues, their first reaction isn't to call the fucking police. I mean, there's a fucking phone number, and you might not like to talk to a hotline, but there's someone I know, Schneider, they crave attention, but they act like, because remember, Shanny, studied mental health and psychology and shit. Yeah, exactly. American cops are, well, they're not trained. That's not their job, first of all. I mean, the word suck in a lot of areas. Sure, absolutely. There are areas where police actually do try to take a little bit of training. But but you're still not a mental health professional. You're taught to identify certain things, or maybe de-escalation of maybe. But Grampy, are you a snitch? Nope, I don't have any stitches. Yeah, same thing with all them fuckers.
So if that were to ever happen, it would be because, Rev's having a tough time and he needed a little bit of a break from reality.
Then get off the internet for a while. Go to the hospital. Go talk to somebody that has some professional background. Somebody, hell, you guys have benefits now. You're getting state benefits from what I hear. And, hey, Miss Parker, I enjoyed a lot of your stream today. But seriously, if you're that fucked up where, you think, you're okay with your wife calling the cops and having you 5150 because you don't feel good. Like I said, if you don't feel good, go to the hospital. Have your wife take you there instead of making videos. I mean, my famous video that Mudbrecker remembers probably, because I still remember his comment. It was like 10 minutes, right? And I shut the motherfucker off. And you didn't hear from me for, God, except for some emails, you didn't hear from me for over 3.5 fucking months. Because I was in a hospital. I had the internet, and I did talk to some people, but I wasn't on YouTube. I mean, first of all, our internet really sucked there, so it would have been impossible. But still, I mean, if you're that fucked up, where you're talking about shit like this, Rev, because he knows he's fucked up. He's got to know he's fucked up. Grampy, how can she still fit behind the steering wheel? I don't know. Maybe the car, I don't know. Maybe they've got their car has some seats go back a long ways. I've seen some big people behind the wheel of a car, man. It depends what kind of car it is. Your bait and switch with Therese on Von Helton went instant Hall of Fame. Yeah, I was watching that, and I want to get into that because that's why I'm glad Toast is here, because and Miss Parker too, because this is really amazingly just crazy fucking time shit for me, because I have such a hard time understanding a couple of things, and I would really like Toast, seriously, and I'm not gonna be joking when I ask you this, because folks, remember, I do have a big announcement. I do have a big fucking announcement. The Rev, consider changing your name. You know what? I would, and I've said that. I guess you just, yeah. Anyway, so let's finish this.
I've been in that spot before. I mean, and I've been in these places, and these people, the people that are in there are generally not bad people at all. They're mostly alcoholics, in my experience.
I've been in a psychiatric ward, different types. I've been in everything from a 72-hour lockdown to a state hospital on a couple occasions. Okay. Most of the people in there, admittedly, there's a lot of people in mental health institutions or in rehab or whatever that are alcoholics, because sadly alcoholism and mental health, self medicating, things like that, it goes hand in hand. And I think in a lot of ways it's good, but in a lot of ways it's bad, because not everybody that's mentally ill and has problems even drinks alcohol or drugs for that matter, because their reality's so fucking weird. But
when I was in there, it was because I was malnourished, and I hadn't eaten in like a week and a half.
No, you wouldn't be in the psychiatric ward of a hospital if you were malnourished and you hadn't eaten for a week and a half. I don't think that's the ward you would have been in. If you were, there was another reason that you were in there.
Literally. And I was just exhausted, and mentally I was exhausted,
Yeah.
That happens to people. They get run down. There's all this judgment on, you were in one of these places. It's like, whatever.
Now, admittedly, when I first started going, and this was like 1999 when I first started having, there was still a lot of, I remember it wasn't in the not too distant past where if somebody was known to have been in a mental institution or someplace that, there's a stigma, and there's still a stigma, and that can be a fucking thing. But he was because he was talking crazy shit like firearms and threatening to that's one reason I'm guessing. But anyway, so let's jump off this. And folks, I want to play something, and I've been watching a lot of videos lately about genealogy, heritage, where people came from, where do they Justin Pulliam, you need to hold your boots on there, buddy. Heritage, I remember like back in the day, and we're going to get into this because of the video. I want to show you this. A lot of people, before genealogy was a big thing, before DNA, before the internet, before Google, before a lot of these things, a lot of people, their heritage, where they came from, who they were related to, oftentimes, and a lot of people have found this out, some the hard way, that their heritage, who they thought they were, where they thought they came from, wasn't true. It was made up, maybe to make somebody feel better. Maybe the story started as a bedtime story. I don't know, an old wives' tale, whatever. But people claim to be look at Von Helton, right?
you know, the whole shit with Dracula. But he's got this story that a lot of people had. I've met other people in my life that have had similar stories. Well, we thought we were from somewhere else. Happened to me. Oh, God. But we did get a family crest out of it. But and it's a real family crest. But a lot of times people find out they're not who they thought they were. They're not from the certain heritage they may or may not even have. And I started seeing this a lot when I lived in Oregon, because Oregon has a very large Native American population, the Umpqua. Offhand, I'm trying to think of, but I have some friends that are Harry. I'm not in the mood for that. Okay. But there's a lot of Native American festivals. Some are even called Indian powwows. So I was confused, like the term Indian, Native American, and I've met a lot of people who were Native American. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I've also met a lot of people that, and you see this, and this is why I wanted Toast to come in, and maybe Mrs. Parker, is what is this fascination with people wanting to be, like, claim Native American heritage? I mean, Stinky can't do it because there's nothing in it for him. I mean, because he's not, but I've never understood it. It's the same way when people try to steal or take on the make believe they're something they're not, you know, whether it's something they were told that is just bullshit and can be proven, like Stinky's ancestry, which, like I said, he's white, you know, I mean, and then just look, I put the link in the side chat. Yeah, they've seen too many movies. Hey, what's up, Blue? But I wanna play this video. It's a clip that was sent to me. Just exactly well, Miss Parker, you could come in and have your little boy. You have your voice is probably shot. Fine, don't come in. I don't care. I guess I'll have to deal with Blue. No. Anyway, but I want to play this. Just watch this video and don't say anything till it's over, Blue, please.
And that there ain't no Cherokee Indian in our family. Idiot on the internet is saying that there ain't no Cherokee Indian in our family, that we're not Cherokee Indian. And they dug up an old census from 1910 and 1930 that has your mom, a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, registered as a white person on the census.
Well, she was colored. I mean,
she was an Indian, right?
She was an Indian.
But why do they have her listed as a white person?
Because her skin wasn't much different than mine.
Right, but she was still full-blooded Indian.
According to what we were told, and she knew that she was Indian.
Do you remember her Indian name?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Now, if his grandmother was a full-blooded Indian princess, I'm just saying, I think that would still be celebrated, like, in their life, because just for the fact that she was a princess, you know what I mean? Just like his daddy being a, Medal of Honor
Let the whole thing play, man. I kept quiet.
Yeah, no. Hey, well, it's my, we know that ain't gonna happen long. Hold on, let me finish this.
Indian in our family that were not Cherokee Indian, and they dug up an old census from 1910 and 1930 that has your mom, a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, registered as a white person on the census.
Well, she was colored. I mean,
she was an Indian, right?
She was an Indian.
But why do they have her listed as a white person?
Because her skin wasn't much different than mine.
Right, but she was still full.
And I'll let this finish in a second. But that's actually half true in some census areas. And I've actually heard, I actually met some people that actually happened to them in their family past, and they could actually prove it. But with Schneider here, I'm sure that's not going to happen. So,
blooded Indian,
according to what we were told, and she knew that she was Indian.
Do you remember her Indian name?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Why wouldn't she?
All right. So that's the end of that shit. All right. Are we done now? I hope.
That's the end of that. Oh yeah. I mean,
the end of that.
Yeah.
We're not done, Von Helton.
Oh, excuse me. This is the third time that this man has interrogated his mother like she's a fucking suspect on Dragnet. Okay? This is the fucking... How many times has he interrogated his children? Well, on Memorex, on
She
video.
doesn't even know if her mother's alive.
Thank you, Grampy. Hey, you know what, brother? I love you to fucking death for opening with that video. I mean, you and I haven't talked in the last couple days, and when I saw that shit this morning when I was at work, I was like so enraged with so much of the other bullshit he was saying that literally I mentally blocked that video out of my mind until you just reminded me of it. This is the man who interrogates his, and I love Alice Helton to death. God love her. All right. But this is the man that interrogates his 94-year-old mother, all right, on camera for drama and bullshit. And in a video 6 months ago, she thought her dead husband was still alive. She thought both of her parents were still alive. Oh, mommy and daddy, they're dead? They're dead? While he was interrogating her in her own spotless kitchen.
No.
No, wait. So everybody's overlooking an obvious point here. A woman of Alice's age, living where she does, the word colored does not mean Native American.
Yeah.
She would be a hell of a lot closer to Miss Parker than she would be to burnt toast. If she said colored, there's a good chance that she was passing for white as an African American woman in her family.
Ooh.
Except for the fact that we saw all the ancestors.
Well, no, here's the problem.
Yeah,
I have photos of his Chandler grandfather, and he's white as the driven fucking snow, sitting right next to his overweight Chandler grandmother. They were both overweight, fat, and white. With you know what, Mud?
If there's something other than white in his family tree, I'd be willing to bet that it was. No, she wasn't black. She was Cherokee. Yeah, she was part Cherokee.
Hey, the man has a beard, looks just like yours, brother. I'm gonna send you the picture.
All right.
Anyway, burnt toast, how are you doing?
I'm good. If I'm gonna mute in between talking because there's background noise and I don't want to be disrespectful or whatever. But Mr. Unite for the Children wanted to see my avatar, so you can move that up if you want.
Wow, that's impressive.
So it's Vaughn throwing a dog.
what's your take on this? Because this really fascinates me. It's fascinated me for years, actually. How people will, like I said, I saw this in Oregon. I really did, and I knew a lot of people, and even moving out here, which I know they had Native Americans like everywhere, not just but the amount of people that are willing to, it's almost like stolen valor, or
It's
like
culture vulture. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
basically what it is that for whatever reason, people have been taught that you have to wear a white hood and burn a cross on somebody's front lawn in order for you to be labeled as racist, or if you don't scream the N-word, then you're not racist. But the thing is, it's like what Shanny does, in addition to screaming the N-word, by the way, same with Vaughn, but like all these people that we talk about, they fetishize people of color, and that's what they're doing. And it's like, the way that I see it, and I've heard Miss Parker talk about this too, Black Eye TV's talked about this, it's like if you see a person of color and you're either fetishizing them, dehumanizing them, or you're making them into a foe, you're a racist. Like, that is racism. And I think there's a lot of people that don't realize that that's what that is. When you dehumanize anyone because of their culture, that's racism. Like, if I were to do that to you, Grampy, I would be a racist. Like, that's
Right.
what that is.
See, and I'm glad you touched on that. I really, and I started to bring this up with Ms. Parker. I think the one and only time we've actually had a conversation. But when you said, when you made this, the like how something is dehumanizing, the way I was raised, okay, we pretty much literally had to humanize anything that wasn't white. You know what I mean? Because black people were depicted in a certain way. Asians were all yellow, which the only person I've ever seen that was yellow actually had jaundice, I think. But
yeah, my husband's Asian. He's brown. So
yeah, exactly. So
most people, like, they assume that he's like Hawaiian or Samoan or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, he's Asian. He's Korean. And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, there are dark-skinned Koreans. You just don't know about them.
Yeah, and
because everybody has a stereotype in their head.
My mother-in-law was 100% Japanese from Japan. She was brown. There you go.
I think, though, the reason, certainly everything Burnt Toast said is true, but the reason we see it from all the lost cows, and especially Vaughn, is because ultimately they're not happy with who they are, so they have to be something or someone else. They're not happy with who they are.
And it's amazing to me too, because like I know about Shanny's ancestry, I know about Vaughn's ancestry, I know a little bit about Rev's ancestry, and it's like they have so many.
He's going to sue you just like he's going to sue Todd Mallicoat. So.
Awesome! Can't wait to see you in court, buddy. Yeah. So they have like such rich history in their family that's legit, that's real. Like, for instance, Shanny's mom is half Irish, half Italian. And I'm just like, okay, so those are two very rich cultures that she could, learn the language, learn how to cook the food. Like, I don't understand why she's just not embracing that, And the reason why Rev says that he's 0.00 something % black, and he thinks that, oh, look, I have somebody 10 generations ago from Nigeria. Well,
he's a major Niger now.
Newsflash, Rev. First of all, Niger and Nigeria are two different countries. Okay, that's number one. Number two, that's not where the N-word comes from. The N-word comes from Spain. Okay, and three, it doesn't mean that you're a part black. It means that one of your ancestors raped a slave, because that's what that means. Just saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Ultra Blaze, can you do me a favor? Can you mute your mic?
Sorry.
We're getting all the traffic in the background. Thank you. The one thing about Von Helton, and you brought that up, the most the most offensive thing is like the thing, I'm not racist because I have a black friend. I'm not racist because I'm a red man. Okay, yeah, we all know about that.
Yeah, they're red.
But literally to say I'm not racist because I've had black girlfriends, and then to absolutely know they are created in a video game. So not only are you using that bullshit, but they ain't even real. It would be one thing if you dated a black girl when you were in like a teenager in high school, but to use that as to
or
say,
at least actually went out with one once. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
but I mean, literally to say that, knowing that they're computer figures in a game, nothing but ones and zeros, dashes and dots, and the world already knows it. That's the craziest shit.
Yeah. And once again, he's not only dehumanizing us, but he's also creating us, and he's seeing us as a fetish. Like he sees us as like, oh, well, I like my feet, rubbed, or, like everybody has their thing or whatever. That's how he sees us. He doesn't see us as actual human beings. And there are lots of people that will date certain races because they're obsessed with fetishizing them. Like there's a lot of men that are obsessed with Asian women. There's been a lot of people that I met before I married my husband. There was a lot of guys that were like, "Oh, you look so exotic," and that's what I would hear all the time. I'm just like, I'm not. I'm like, what? It was just, it was creepy. It was weird. It's like, you can't just like somebody and like them. You have to you have to get weird with it, And so that's what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't know how to further articulate that. It's like when you are fetishizing someone, instead of just saying, I like you or I find you attractive, that's different than getting creepy the way that Vaughn does and the way that Shanny does too. Because Shanny's like, I'm not racist. I've
ever ask you to
had
put
sex with all these guys. It's like,
did anybody ever ask you? I'm so sorry I'm asking you this, but did anybody ever ask you to wear a feather? Like, I'm so sorry.
No. I much rather prefer people ask questions than just say stuff.
Yeah,
I've had people.
I meant the fetish wise with.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
inviting
you know me. I was going
he's
straight.
inviting you for a little Pocahontas role play kind of thing.
Yeah, no one's asked me that. No one's asked me that, but I have had people say, "Well, you're not Indian. You don't have a feather in your hair," and it's just like dumb stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like G-Man, he did the same thing where he was like, well, you don't sound like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Am I supposed to speak in broken English? Are we not allowed to read a book, sir? Can we not educate ourselves?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You don't sound like Graham Greene either.
I mean,
can you send smoke signals though? Can you?
To be honest, the only thing I ever knew about Native Americans was from Disney. Because even at the original Disneyland for a few years, they had Native American dancing and stuff, and then they had Daniel Boone movies and all that stuff. But the cartoons, it wasn't part of anything that I saw. So just like with other cultures, it was kind of weird for me when I first met somebody that identified as a Native American. Because for the simple fact they weren't like wearing like leather and like didn't have like face paint and stuff. So but I was also like a kid. So but yeah, if you're not raised or if it's not around, think people weren't aware of a lot of cultures. I joke about it all the time, things that used to be able to say, things that used to be funny because, well, we found it funny, but people don't think of, I don't know.
So are we saying that just putting the camera in front of a 90-something-year-old woman and asking her, like, your mom was Native, that's not all the proof you need?
Yeah, that's like asking, there's a lot of old stories of people find out they're not from where they were. Look at Elizabeth Warren, look at, I mean, not trying, but
and it'll blow up in people's faces these days if you don't like check. I mean,
yeah, she got in big trouble because and this is what Vaughn, I mean, he's really got to be careful. Like, if he starts claiming actual citizenship, he can get in big trouble, because Elizabeth Warren actually got a cease and desist from a lawyer from the Cherokee Nation East. Because there's two different nations. And what people don't realize, those are sovereign nations. Those are not just a bunch of naked people running around in the woods, right? Like that, it's an actual nation. They have their own airspace, they have their own police, their own everything. Like some it depends on the way the treaties are written with that particular nation and with the United States government. Because again, there's over 500 tribes, and each one of them are different. So we're not like this, monolith or whatever, but there are some nations where when you are a citizen of that nation, you're also American citizen. So you have dual citizenship.
So you're telling me that Vaughn can't just go up to like a Lakota tribe and just knock on the door like, "Hey, I'm Cherokee, let me in."
No, that's not how it works. First of all, he's claiming to be Cherokee, not Lakota. Like I'm Shawnee. Like I can't just walk into a reservation. Like that's not a thing. But it's just like, what he doesn't realize is that that's not how any of that works. They don't go by family stories or, accosting like an elderly woman who's losing her head. Like that's not how you do it. They don't go by DNA tests. DNA tests are not allowed because it's pseudoscience at this point. Because that's a whole other long story, but they go by actual genealogy. So if you think that you are related to someone in a tribe / nation, there are steps you have to take. It's like applying for any other thing. You have to go to their website. You have to fill out an application. They do a full background check on you. They will ask you every question imaginable about your life, and you can turn in your family tree and they will complete it for you. And they have to have census records. Even though Vaughn says he doesn't like that, they look at census records. They look at family trees. They look at death records. And if they were drafted in a war, they look at all of those things. And if you aren't related to someone who's a member of that tribe, it's a no. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You could have black hair and dark skin. You have to prove it, period. So he doesn't know what he's talking about.
The crazy part is literally I have so many family photos of his. I mean, like back 3 generations.
My favorite is Shadrach.
Shadrach. That's an awesome name, man. I love that name, Shadrach. Anyway, so I have so many family photos of his. And
I'm gonna write that name down.
Hey, there was Shadrach and Shadrach Jr.
Oh,
I wonder. Yeah, like Wilson was saying, I wonder if you had brothers Meshach and Abednego.
Yeah.
Or no, Toastmaster.
Kerry Chandler was the darkest ancestor he had. The only problem was both of the Chandler parents are like of English descent. I mean, it goes way back.
Right. Which means she could be Portuguese, Italian, Spaniard.
Yes, anywhere.
Some Welsh people have black hair too. So, I mean,
you have to remember at that time, your heritage basically through family tree is where were you born? Where were your parents born? So it could have literally been a sailor that settled down in a foreign port and stayed for 50 years and had 2 generations of children. And until you take it, and that's where the DNA comes in handy. You may have had 2 generations of ancestors that were born and lived in Spain their whole life, but their grandfather settled in Spain from like Norway, And if you don't have photos, then I mean that's that's a gray area that takes a lot of research, because I've went around and around with those circles of somebody that was literally born in Spain, but was registered as a white English citizen, in England.
Yeah. The other thing is, there's a reason why he won't go to the Cherokee Nation. I'm assuming Cherokee Nation East, because there's also a Cherokee Nation West in Oklahoma. But I'm assuming since he's claiming that Cherokees were in Kentucky, which they really weren't, but whatever. Until
Trail of Tears.
That wasn't in Kentucky, but yeah.
No.
But
I think
what I'm
that
saying is,
happens
it's like
sometime.
there's a reason why
during
he is
Woodstock.
refusing to go to the Cherokee Nation East and apply for membership. He may say, "Oh, I'm 56. I'm too old." No, it's because I think deep down he knows that if he does that, they're going to tell him he's white.
Yeah. And
That's
I mean, that was why I brought up the whole thing about how, when people brought up that, okay, you're not just doing this for you, Vaughn, you'll be doing it for your children. Well, my children, they're not native. Andrew didn't have a drop of native blood in him.
Yeah, I mean, that's not how it worked. I mean,
I'm sorry, the man won't even spit into a cup for me. I offered to pay for his DNA test. He won't even spit into a cup. That's why, because his whole life would be proven bullshit. And as we all know,
maybe you should reach out to Larry and see if he can get into the trailer one day and just wipe up a little bit of the spit spot on the floor. Send that in.
Yeah, but just don't send it to California or it's going to come back a clone.
Oh, I love you, brother. Look, okay, so we take an ice bag, like a cellophane one. We line the trash can, have Larry come over and go, "Hey, Vaughn, I just took your trash out for you." And we have him line it. And we let a little bit build up, tell him, "I need you to go over to Alice's for a home inspection." And the Mission Impossible, brother. You are the man. You are the man.
Just take a swab from one of those Go-Gurts. He seems to slobber those up.
Larry also seems to think that Stinky is still 33% Native American. So
that is impossible. That would require both of his parents to be indigenous. So
the thing is, Larry's his cousin. Theoretically, it would be possible for him to be up to half of an entirely different race than Vaughn, because it would depend on what because what it was through his mother.
Yeah,
his mother was Alice's sister, I think. His father.
It was paternal. It was all paternal. His father was Alice's father's brother. So he's like a second cousin or something like that. So it was paternal in the Frost side. Yeah.
Well, as a second cousin, he could be even higher percentage of an entirely different race because.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because you're entering into your DNA, or he's entering DNA into his in him that comes from a completely different set of people.
Right.
Also, I had a question, Schneider.
Larry could be, telling the truth and actually be right about himself, but it wouldn't necessarily apply at all to Vaughn.
It would not be the Frost side of the family then.
Right.
It would be the other side. Yeah.
So I have a question, Schneider. So this, supposed Cherokee princess, even though there were no such thing as royalty in indigenous culture, but what color were her eyes?
They were brown. I'll send you the picture. I have you on Discord. I have her picture. Okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Hold on.
A big thing that I found hilarious was hearing Vaughn. Apparently, he was threatening to strike Miss Parker's channel. The reason I find that hilarious is because, Vaughn, I know why you took your stream down. And guess what, genius? It's still on Facebook.
Ooh.
Yeah, the Lion King guy, we're probably not going to be seeing him for a while again. Now that he's, done courting Miss Parker. And fucking J-Dubs has been bitching him on him like, "Oh, let Ricky on. He'll behave." And N-word.
And there you go.
And,
Isn't it amazing that somebody who claims to be that much Native American would surround himself with an entire panel of racists?
Oh yeah, and I did love J-Dubs' little mention of that certain Yiddish word. Where did I put it?
Schwarza.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's in Yiddish, it's not actually originally, at least, intended as a racial slur. It simply means black person.
Yeah, but
as time has gone on, it's kind of fallen in the same category as the word Negro. Yeah, it's not technically a slur, but it isn't used much anymore, and it's usually used by people as kind of a euphemism for a slur nowadays.
Now, I find the way that Vaughn uses that word hilarious, because Vaughn doesn't actually say the word Negro. He says Negroid.
Okay.
Because that's scientific.
Yeah. Sea Beach. All DNA shows from North American haplogroup. I think they're starting now that they're getting more and more DNA tests done. They're starting to pick up some regional markers and a couple that are specific to certain bands and certain tribes. I could be wrong, but I think I had heard that.
Yeah.
This
is why tribes don't accept DNA tests, because they're still collecting DNA, because they have to have a certain number of samples of full bloods in order to compare other people's DNA to that.
Yeah.
And if they don't happen to have enough samples of your particular people group, then it will come up as unknown, or the algorithm they created will just stick you in some random category, and it will just kind of change over time, and it won't be accurate. But they are starting to get more and more people taking DNA tests.
Yeah, they're getting at least, more regional than just North American.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I get blown away every time. Like when my first result came back, like 2 years ago, it was like 54% Scandinavian. I'm like, Scandinavian? So it was just lumping, man, it was just like lumping so many countries together. And then the farther it went on, and I wasn't even adding members to my tree at that time. It was like every 3 months I would get an update, to where now I think I'm like 46% Swedish. And that seems to be like the going trend.
Yeah, when I got my ancestry back, like my entire family thought it was really weird that we'd always been under the impression that my dad's side was German and my mom's side was British. And then we find out like there's a lot of Scandinavian mixed in there. There's a lot of not just German, but like Bavarian German, some Mediterranean, but like just completely just scattershot all over Europe.
Yeah, I was surprised. Mine is pretty much Sweden, Norwegian. I mean, I am just like raiding your Christian sanctuary fucking Viking. Everything, I mean, it just came from all Ireland, Scotland. I think I'm like 17% Scottish. And I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, the Irish and Scottish, the Vikings tended to plunder them pretty heavily and take the women folk back with them. So,
yeah, oh yeah, a lot of gold.
There's a lot of Norwegians that got Irish in them.
Double entendre.
The white parts of my family, because both my mom and my father are all mixed, and all like Shawnee. It's like all the way down, and the little white here, white there, white here, white there is mostly French, because there was a lot of French that intermarried into my tribe, and they learned the language and they traded with us, and then they ended up marrying with us. So same with Todd's tribe too. That's why he has a French last name.
Oh, I was gonna. Where's
yeah, it's real common. It's real common in Wisconsin too.
What tribe is Todd? Because I was assuming that he was probably Native American, because the way he jumped it,
Yeah, he's 25%, I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, Todd. Don't kill me. I'm trying to remember. It starts with a P.
Pawnee?
And there's a northern tribe of them, and then there's a southern tribe, and I believe he's from the northern, and they're almost dying out, and it's kind of sad. But I think
they were not a big reservation to begin with. I mean,
no,
I learned,
his tribe was not very big. Mine, like pre-Columbian or pre-colonial contact, I guess is what you'd say, European contact. My tribe was like 1 million people. Like we were huge. We had cities and everything. And now I think the 2020 census had us down to like 12,000 or 8,000. It was something like that. And then there's like another 1,000 people that are still going through the process of, I guess they're self-claiming it, but they can't prove it. So they're either full of it or they're in the process of getting enrolled into a tribe, because we've been split up into 4 different tribes now. So,
have you ever been to Gallup, New Mexico?
No.
Oh man, it was crazy. In 2006, I flew from Virginia with my son to California because we left a bunch of stuff out there. So we rented a U-Haul, packed up these storage units, and drove back. And I think we literally hit like 4 different, nations reservations all the way back. We trailed I-40, which was old Route 66. And we stopped in Gallup, New Mexico. And we went into a Taco Bell. And we were sitting down there eating. And my son, who was born and raised and bred in San Diego around Mexicans his whole life, he's like, Dad, there's a lot of Mexicans in here. I'm like, no, son, you're sitting right smack dab in the middle of 2 reservations. I'm like, these are Native Americans. I'm like, they're not, they're off the reservation. And it was just so cool because we stopped at every, most of their living they're having to squeak by in those reservation areas are from like rest areas where they sell the most incredible handcrafted jewelry. You can sit and watch them right in front of you make it. And I mean, it's just cool. So, but it was such a cool experience to go through all that with my son and introduce. He's like, like in the movies. I'm like, yeah. So, I mean, don't take offense to that, but yeah.
No, I think that's cool. Yeah. No, but I mean, so like all the different tribes and nations, we all look different. And there are definitely some similarities. Like I have black hair, that kind of thing. But I have dark eyes, high cheekbones, the stereotypical stuff, right? But there's a lot of people who have never actually met like a real native person. All they've seen is like the Korean chick that they put in the Pocahontas movie, or, or the white guy that they put paint on his face in the Western movie. They've never actually seen what we look like. And so, or they've seen one and met one, but think that we all look like that and don't realize that we all look different. And so what I've heard like literally my entire life is you're like half Mexican, right? Or like, you're like Mexican, right? Like that, what? Because they'll look at me and they'll be like, okay, so she's definitely not black or Asian. She's not white. So I guess she's Hispanic. And they just kind of like try to figure out what I am. Or they'll say, well, you're racially ambiguous or something. And I'm like, no, I'm not. You just don't know what we look like. Like, I do not look racially ambiguous at all. Like, you just have never seen what we actually look like. And so I think it's cool when you're able to like expose yourself or your kids or whatever to just different people that look different or come from different cultures, because that's a good thing. It's a good thing to kind of educate yourself,
Have you ever watched the miniseries Into the West on AMC way back in the 90s?
I've heard about it. I think I watched.
Oh, look! It is, every episode is on YouTube. Every episode is on YouTube. Yes, and it is the story of 2 families: a white Quaker family. They're called the Wheelers, and they're wagon rides. All right, and they go west. And the other half of the story is about a Lakota Sioux family. All right, and it follows both families, how they intertwine together, because two of the main characters in, like, it's a miniseries. It's like 8 parts, and it's such an amazing series. It just goes into everything about the time and Europeans' expansion west, and Native Americans fight to struggle to what they've had their whole life and what they're fighting to hold on to, and why some of, and it even goes into the intertribal wars, you know, how even, you know, you have Europeans coming west trying to take your land, and then you have rival tribes trying to take your land at the same time. But yeah, look it up. It's Into the West. Cool. It's Into the West. It was made by AMC, and every part is on AMC. You'll thank me. It's amazing.
That's cool. Yeah, I will definitely look that up, because I've heard about that, and I think I've seen like clips somewhere, but I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, it's great. So anyways, hey, Burnt, check your Discord. I sent you the photo of Carrie Chandler. That's Von Helton's great-grandmother.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to step downstairs for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say she doesn't look at all like at all.
No, I have photos of her parents. I will have to dig them up. They are in my ancestry files. But her parents are white as a driven snow, both of them. So,
I mean, genetics is a funny
European
thing.
Picture. I mean,
yeah, she's very European. Genetics is a funny thing. She could have an ancestor that was Italian or Sicilian or Middle Eastern or whatever, and she just happened to get the cards of, you know, dark hair and dark eyes. But I mean, just looking at her facial structure, it's just European, and there's nothing wrong with that. But he needs to stop this like delusion. It's weird.
Well, maybe that's the Romanian side of him, where he's related to Dracula. I'll be right back.
I love how Vaughn tried to point out that he has the high cheekbones. I'm like, how can you claim that, Vaughn? Your entire face is caving in.
That woman does not have high cheekbones.
Yeah, your cheekbones look a lot higher when your jaw caves in. Robin Eagle song. Your mother-in-law was Menominee. Yeah, they got they have a reservation here in Wisconsin, northeastern Wisconsin, into the UP. Just in case you're wondering where they came from or where they're at now, anyway.
That's cool. See, on my dad's side, I'm also Micmac from the Micmac Nation of Nova Scotia. Yeah. But I don't ever claim that because, one, I'm an enrolled member of my tribe, and you can only be a member of one at a time. And two, that is really far back. Yeah. It's really far back. And I'm predominantly Shawnee, so I'm not going to claim citizenship to that tribe. And there's also other tribes that married into my family, the Delaware, the Sac and Fox, the Miami tribe, which was from Indiana, by the way. I don't know why there's a Miami, Florida. Never been able to figure that out, but that's actually a tribe originally from Indiana and Ohio.
Yeah, there's a Miami, Ohio, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we actually got our land we settled in Ohio and Kentucky from the Miami tribe because they were being attacked by the Iroquois that were coming through, working with the British. And the Miami tribe were small and couldn't defend themselves. And they keep getting raided by the Iroquois and the British, mostly the Iroquois. And so they were like, hey, you guys come through every year, because we were migratory until like 1790. And so they're like, hey, we're going to give you this land. We're going to give you Ohio as a buffer. And then we're going to move, west of you. And we'll just use you as a buffer. And we're like, okay, deal. And so that we permanently settled, because we used to live in the warmer months in Ohio, Kentucky, parts of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Virginia. So that whole area was Shawnee land, which is hilarious because there were no Cherokee there.
Yeah.
We were enemies of Cherokee until like the 1800s. So that just didn't make any sense. But yeah, we settled. And in fact, I have a lot of family from Kentucky and from Ohio because that's where the tribe is from. And so it's really funny to me that he's claiming all of this when it was his family. Because I've seen his family tree. It was a lot of his family that moved in onto the land that was taken from my family.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty ironic that he's now claiming to be native when he's not.
Yes, there's a small reservation in Wisconsin, Stockbridge, Muncie. And it was two small tribes that they transplanted out of Indiana into Wisconsin. You know, I don't know what their original names could have been. I'm sure it wasn't Stockbridge, Muncie. Well, maybe Muncie. But they got moved up into Wisconsin. See, in Wisconsin, there's the two biggest tribes are there's Ojibwa and there used to be Winnebago, Ho-Chunk. Then there's also Menominee, Oneidas, Potawatomi, Sauk Fox.
Yeah, Sac and Fox. They're the same
yeah.
language family as Shawnee people. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Stockbridge, Muncie, and I think there's one or two others I can't think of offhand. But there was quite a stink back in the 80s because the Ojibwa still had treaty rights to like the northern third of the state for hunting and fishing. You know, and they finally, because a lot of those rights got, a lot of the treaties got abrogated when the tribes were granted American citizenship. But they were one of the ones that got overlooked. And so now they get to exercise the right every spring to go out, spear and fish. And they can pretty much hunt as many deer as they want. And caused a bit of a controversy because hunting and fishing are a big tourist industry in Wisconsin. So there's a lot of concern over sharing around the numbers of fish, because the way the treaty was set up, they were basically entitled to spear as much fish as they wanted to in the spring, mostly walleye. And that's a big popular game fish. So the DNR had to have to do a population check after spearing season and set bag limits on certain lakes. And it really pissed a lot of people off, but it's finally settled down. Nobody really much gives a shit about it anymore.
I think I'm gonna head off. I think it was good talking to you guys, and thank you, Burnt Toast, for educating us. I mean,
well, thank you.
A lot of people, don't know about Native history and stuff. And I think it's really great that you're trying to educate people.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And again, please ask questions. I can't speak for all tribes, but I will speak for what little I know and about mine. That's all I can do. But I appreciate it, the space to actually talk about this.
But anyways, have a good night, guys. See ya.
Thanks for coming in.
See you,
Grampy. See you, Wilson.
I'm not trying to be. I'm eating my dinner. My wife came home with dinner. So.
I was wondering, what are you eating, Grampy?
Are you doing a mukbang?
Taco Bell.
Are you sitting on the toilet eating?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some food myself.
I don't eat in bed. I'll eat in my living room. I'll eat at my chair here. But I don't eat on the toilet. I mean,
you're not naming the fucking flies in your bathroom.
Did you hear what they named them?
No.
They named flies in the bathroom.
I know. Oh my God. I want to hear this story. I saw somebody post some shit in a Discord, and I'm like, no, this shit can't be true. I have to hear it.
I don't remember the exact names, but I remember it's been a long day. I've been working all day, but I would have to go back to the video and find the name. But I just remember hearing it. And I'm like, wow. It was one of those things where it's like, why did they name a cat Watermelon?
Yeah, pretty much.
So did they get racist with the bugs too?
They named them like actual people names. that was clearly like, it was almost like Shanny. Yeah, they named him Harold and Kumar.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. And Shanny, it just came out of her mouth.
Don't
they were like,
kill
let's
them.
name them. And she's like, yeah, Harold and Kumar. Yeah.
So what nationality are flies supposed to be? I'm confused.
175% Shanny.
Well, that's just
they feed off of Shanny, but
yeah, that's the byproduct of Shanny.
Therefore, they have her DNA.
Good Lord.
Have ever been to New York City and walked down a street? I could name 1,000,000 of the fuckers.
See, that's honestly just one more reason why I don't watch. Like, if there's no filter involved, if it's not watching a video through drag or Black Eye TV or Secular Opinion, I don't watch these idiots because they're dull. The only reason I found out about Von's stream is because I asked, like, does anyone know why Von's stream got nuked? Someone sent me the link to his Facebook, and I just went to the last 3 minutes. I'm like, huh, that's why.
That is why. See?
Why did they get nuked? Because I can't go to his Facebook. I'm blocked.
Late breaking volleyball news right here. I was curious too. I had no idea why.
So, do you remember how they had that Lion King guy on?
Oh yeah,
the guy that he's dropped numerous N's in Von's stream, and then he had his wife on stream with him, and he was trying to get her to like tell the story about how when they went to where I want to say it was like Cleveland, like just talk about all the Muslims that you saw in Cleveland. It's like, yeah, just sand ends everywhere.
Oh, thank you, Wilson. Hey, I am so glad you brought. Now, see, originally, I was thinking, you know what? Because I was at work that morning and I was.
You have that clip?
No.
Do you have the stream?
Dude, they deleted it that quick, that fast. They both jumped on it. Both J-Douche and Vaughn deleted it that fast. I was praying to the gods of Quasi Monkey that, I'm sorry. I let that name slip. God damn it.
I'm just saying it might still be on his Facebook.
I was praying. Oh. Man, you got some JFK conspiracy shit here going. I'll be right back.
I would love a copy of that.
No shit.
By the way, Vaughn, check your YouTube notifications next week. Got a surprise for you.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like the person that sent me the link to his Facebook, I am about like one hair's length away from blocking this person because I'm tired of them fucking either tagging me in shit or fucking messaging me with shit of like, oh, look what Vaughn did. I'm like, I don't care. Like, whoever this person is, like, they are starting to kind of weird me out. Because I'm like, either this person is obsessed or they're a Poe and they're trying to see what we're up to in Discord.
Maybe
they're trying thank you, Grampy. There you go. You are the I Am Wilson. So maybe they're just trying to suck up to your ass. Maybe it's a fanboy, dude. You ever think about that?
Might be.
You get the first fanboy. There you go.
Oh, I mean, I actually got to interact with him firsthand. The person that was supposedly trying to give my information to Vaughn. Blue pointed him out to me that apparently like someone was in Vaughn's stream in their chat, like trying to tag Vaughn, like, if you want the information on Wilson, just let me know, Vaughn. I'll email it to you. If you see him in Miss Parker's chat, ask him about his kid. I'm like, huh, that's funny. Didn't know I had kids. But like
you want some?
I mean,
I'll sell you some.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of less enticing,
They're
but I guess.
Joy.
Yeah, Grappy can rent you Caleb for like $69 a month.
The boy's a diamond in the rough, you know.
Hey, I gotta say, man, I love that kid. He's got some great insults. He could be. Could we bring him to the dark side? He has potential.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. No.
Yeah. By the way, Caleb, you don't need to remind us how many times you've gotten like suspended from school or kicked out of school. Trust me, we can fucking tell.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't tell me. Like, is he a future school shooter? I mean, what?
Probably.
He's just a fucking turd.
I got suspended from school for 3 days once. Got drunk and went golfing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a was a terrible punishment. I mean, it was the middle of April and the first decent weather we had. So, yeah.
I got suspended for 3 weeks, but I won't admit or confess to why.
Oh, speaking of fucking Caleb and what's her fucking marble mouth. I'm still debating on whether or not I'm actually willing to do this next week, but I'm gonna be within about a 20-minute drive of Cyrax.
Do it.
I don't know if I want to.
No,
because
look, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to tell you, if you don't, you're a pussy. You know why I'm saying that? Because, folks, next weekend, guess what's happening?
Oh.
Grampy and Kate?
Yep. We're off to Mexico, Maine next weekend.
So
she said her husband's off next week as far as she knows. So I told her, give me a place, time, date.
Do you need a passport to go to Mexico, Maine?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
I have a passport.
You piece of shit.
You know, Grampy, you know how many years it's been my dream to drive down that road, not the actual road, but the side road, and videotape Crane. Well, you know, that road in Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, and just drive by, just to fuck with them.
That would be fun.
That's like my whole shit with G-Man. I got a message the other night. Somebody was going off of like I was going to go whack fucking G-Man. I'm like, dude, it's a skit, man. We all have our bits we play.
Yeah.
Like I would ever fucking
lunch.
Yeah, I just want to buy you lunch. Hey, G-Man, come on. Let me buy you. No, seriously. I honestly, right here, Charlie Miller, you all know my name. I would love to sit down with Gary Moore in a very public restaurant, all right, with 1 million witnesses around, and just talk to you, dude. I mean, just talk to you, man. What's your issue? Why is for the last, and I was watching Miss Parker's stream today, and she had some videos there. I was like, what is the fucker, like 18? Holy shit. How long has this douchebag been doing this shit? All right. And seriously, dude, what happened in your life that you cast all humanity aside to just live into everybody is a label? Everybody is a fucking label to G-Man. Straight up. And that's what the fuck happened in this life, man. Let me buy you lunch, G-Man. Seriously. I mean, no harm, no foul. I'm not threatening. Look, all that shit's a skit, dude. When I threaten you, and that's all bullshit. But let me sit down and buy you lunch and, man, just talk to me across the table.
It'd be a shame if a car was to, like, hit him, you know, as lunch.
Hey, Grampy, we ain't talking about what's happening in the parking lot. We're talking about what happened in the restaurant, all right?
Yeah, so he gets a good lunch on his way back to leave. You know, something may or may not happen. You know.
Do you really think getting hit by a car is going to hurt him?
Yeah, he's bounced off more than 3, I think.
I think G-Man has never actually been socialized as a kid. The only way he can be with the world is by, breaking people down into groups and label them because he just doesn't know any fucking real people. apart from his family, I don't think there's really that many people that have anything to do with him.
Well, he knows Ken Jones. You know the.
That's a very good point. I think that's probably, in fact, what it is. It's just he's been so rejected by so many people, and not because of who he is, just because of sad fucking twist of fate. You know that he has. It's like the smallest kid in the room. You know, has to try and stand up and be the biggest bully. It's like the person who has the most to lose. You know, there you go.
I gotta go throw my dog. I'll be right back.
Fly, my pretty.
I was thinking Von Helton was midnight.
So Wilson, you were right. I downloaded it.
Nice.
Grandpa, you want a copy?
Oh, please.
I haven't listened to it, but wow, it's like over 6 hours long.
Oh man. Can you do a little editing?
I will. Sure will. I'll cut out the part where it gets juicy.
It's legit like the last 5 minutes.
Cool.
But I tried skipping through it, and there's a point in time where it's Vaughn and that fucking Sam Samuels guy who is just incorrigible.
Oh yeah.
Dude, don't even get the Sam dude. That's the Adolf Hitler of the Jewish community. Straight up.
He fully supports the ethnic cleansing of Israel.
Thank you. He literally said, if you are not Jewish, you do not belong in Israel and need to be removed. Straight up.
Wow.
Straight up. Yes. He's an Alex Jones, Donald Trump, hardcore. He spews shit Donald Trump didn't even spew.
Well, he sounds like a Chamber of Commerce kind of guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, the best part about it is I've seen the chats of when Secular brought him up. I've watched a couple of Vaughn videos, just watching the chats whenever he's just going off on a rant, and you see people in the chat can you just fucking mute him or get rid of him because he never shuts up.
Oh, they've kicked him from the show quite a few times. I mean, J-Dubs. No, a few times. J-Dubs has even went, man, you're too radical. You're going off the end. You need to calm it down, Sam. You need to calm it down. So I got to give J-Douche that much credit.
But good gravy, I don't But yeah, the only reason I'm not really interested in going to visit Cyrax is because I might fucking hammer toss him off a bridge.
He'd fly pretty good though. He is aerodynamic.
See, I found out 2 days
There you go, making threats again there, Wilson.
In Minecraft. But yeah, after that first masshole report, when all that shit came out, that was when I first found out that he lived in Akron. And then 2 days later, my boss comes up to me. He's like, hey, you want to open up a new restaurant? I'm like, yeah, that's always a pretty fun time. I'm like, where at? He's like, Canton. I'm like, I'm down. And I thought about it. I'm like, oh, shit, that's right outside of Akron.
I'm the rubber bowl.
But then I've been going down the fucking Cyrax rabbit hole, and Jesus.
I can't do it. No, I can't do it.
What is his deal? I mean, is he legitimately think he's some sort of music star?
No, to put it bluntly, Cyrax is a fucking monster.
No, I get that, but what's his shtick? I mean,
no,
he's got his rap, his music, and does he legitimately believe that he's some sort of?
Yeah, he absolutely thinks he's a fucking he's delusional. He's been signed to 4 dozen different e-racing teams.
Oh.
Because that's one of his big gimmicks. He's an online professional e-gamer.
Damn.
He plays I think Forza, to where he's got a custom gaming chair and then a 5-point fucking racing harness.
Are you talking about Cyrax?
Yes.
In
You mean
case
the kid with no shoulders?
Yes.
right. A 5-point racing harness
mean-
in case your chair slams into the wall at 180 miles an hour.
He is pretty aerodynamic, so
Yeah, so he's a man of multiple talents. He's a race car driver online and a rap star.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
He is also apparently the first person in history to ever get expelled from school for being raped.
I'm sorry. When I
what?
Hold on. When I look at Cyrex, I think of Riff from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Straight up.
Oh yeah, Riff Raff. I think more like Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw.
I just think, damn man, you got fucked.
Like seriously, like you rolled straight zeros on everything. Like the fates were not kind to you.
Even worse than Von Helton. That's sad.
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair,
Von Helton's feet are wider than Cyrex's shoulders.
Yeah. I want Vaughn to stay on the internet forever. I'll put it out there. I want Rick Productions to stay on the internet. Cyrex, you gotta go, son.
Wilson. Excuse me, Mud. I love you, brother. I have to bring this up. I posted in Trolls, Haters, and Naysayers, shout out, original OG, original plank holder, just the other day, a poll. Okay? These are your options. A, B, and C. A, well, first the question. Now that Von Helton has lost every single source of income, there is no more money to be stolen. The coffers are bare. Old Mother Hubbard has no bones for her deadbeat son in the cupboard. All right. He has nothing. No welfare, no son's disability money, no jack motherfucker shit. The bitch's pockets are flopping in the wind. You joke like a broke. All right. You get me. So how long will Von Helton's internet be on? 1 month, A, 2 month, B, or will J-Dubs pay his internet just to have somebody to fucking talk to? There you go.
C.
Yeah,
C. But, we might have to take up a collection for poor Vaughn because the staunch, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, uber conservative got all that communistic social welfare money taken away. And the only thing that saved him from certain death was a government handout.
Yep, them Biden bucks.
So,
Preach it, brother.
That ain't gonna last him forever. We might have to.
Hey, you know what?
We might have to adopt him so that we can start.
Stinky didn't get any Biden bucks.
Mom did.
No, yeah, he did. He did. Every American. Yes.
Yeah,
you do not have to. You do not have to be a taxpayer, Grandpa.
I know, I understand it, but the money he thought he was getting for his kids,
dude, he lied about. I'm getting. Look, oh, wait a minute. Who was it? Who are the tax people?
H&R Block.
Thank you. He said H&R Block told him his lawyers, his personal lawyers at H&R Block told him his stimulus check was going to be delayed 6 months. Send me your money. Send me. God needs a Ferrari to do the God's work.
Yeah.
Well, me and Mindbender were talking about this, that I don't know how it works in Kentucky because, everything works different in Kentucky because it's common law.
Yeah.
I know here in Ohio that if you misappropriate social assistance money, they're going to want that money back. And
I'm pretty sure it's a federal crime, right?
Yeah.
But they've been doing this for years. When Andrea was living with him, Von Helton was registered with the Clay County welfare system under his mother's address, which is an exact opposite of 2 numbers from his address. So Andrea was registered with the welfare office under their address, because Von Helton bitched and complained and screamed when she left that she was trying to get their children taken off of his welfare case number at his address onto hers listed at her mother's. His very own mouth.
Fucking wanted posters, man.
Yeah. Yeah. See, thing is, SSI for a disabled kid is usually paid to the parent on behalf of the child.
Right.
And you have to spend the money on the child. There's a huge amount of leeway in there. I mean, pretty much any household expense you could spend it on, and it counts as going towards the kid. But if the kid ain't fucking there for months on end, and you're
or the majority of it, say a year,
yeah, and
the majority of its life,
yeah,
oh yeah.
What it should have been done is Jerry still should have got his check with either the foster parents or the CPS as the payee on his behalf, not Vaughn if Vaughn didn't have the fucking kid. The money goes with the kid, not with the parent.
Yeah, exactly.
And if he was claiming that money that whole time, yeah, that can really come back and bite him hard in the ass.
And
they will come back and ask for that money back for sure.
Oh yeah,
they're not gonna ask.
Well, right.
Well, he has nothing to take. So I mean, there you go.
Then he will go to jail.
Yeah.
He literally another self-confession, just like today when he admitted that he had never taken the ancestry DNA test because he submitted a stool sample. He said he put shit in a box and mailed it to ancestry.com. Okay.
What?
Yes.
That's not how that works.
No.
Oh my God.
To be fair, he might have been speaking like God damn it, colloquially. He might have just put the shit in the box and mailed it to ancestry.com, meaning saliva, but
there you go.
Yeah.
My daughter wanted to make a video filming the instructions on the ancestry DNA box we have downstairs, which my son-in-law has not taken yet. But just like before, I mean, it's everything in his life is always a lie, an excuse. I mean, it's just, wow.
Now, if you're gonna have your daughter do a video, you should have her mouthing, Vaughn's instructions on how to fill out how to mail in the ancestry.com sample.
No. My daughter has already told me her next video is Shanny for Christ with one of her makeup. Yes, one of her makeup videos.
Awesome.
Hold on a second. Hey, we've got a super chat. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. From Mr. United for the Children. Folks, we're at about $115 now. Intermission time. Stinky just uploaded a new song, and Jim Morrison is spinning in his grave. Oh, that's just fucked up, man.
No, that wasn't Stinky. That was Irv ruined his own life. I caught that notification.
Oh,
that's an old karaoke.
Oh God! Are you talking about the one with the nose flute guy?
It's somebody on I saw the thumbnail for it. It's somebody on piano.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But this is a while ago because he's got short hair.
Oh yeah, I thought Stinky was going out karaoke again. I mean,
he could have started that online band, but we ruined it.
Yeah.
Yep. Just like we got his Social Security, his everything, all his benefits, his food stamps, everything cut off. All of us.
Even called his mother to tell him to stop paying people to clean his trailer.
That's right. To the point that he's even called every cleaning service in the county, and they go, "What? James Paul Von Helton?"
Nope, blacklisted.
Never heard of him.
Oh, I could see Vaughn getting blacklisted by every cleaning service in the state just because one person actually went in and spread the word.
Yeah.
You don't want to clean this place. There's shit in the vents.
Or if you want to clean this place, treat it like a crime scene. You have to go in charging like fucking $400 an hour.
Yeah, I get like dirty apartment, I try it, whatever, but the shit in the vents, the shit on the walls, the fact that they use shit to as some kind of stickum to put pictures on the wall, you know. A CDC level 4 biohazard. That's right, Mr. Tim, New Jersey Devil. He should know about biohazards. He's a New Jersey Devil fan.
Oh, and Charlie, I got to point out that little nugget you dropped in your video today about who may or may not be living rent free in Vaughn's head. Black Guy TV, Black Rifle TV, Black Rifle something says.
Yep.
Yeah, Vaughn was not happy during that stream.
I wonder if that's true, Mr. United for the Children. If Clay County Craigslist has a special category for warnings about Stinky.
Yeah.
Ah, Lord.
Yeah, Manchester's favorite son. Yeah.
Well, technically, he would be Hamilton's favorite son. Because he's not a redneck. He was born in Ohio. Because Hamilton, Ohio is definitely not redneck at all.
I don't know anything about Hamilton, Ohio.
Yes,
there's a reason. There's a reason that people in Ohio are kind of refer to Hamilton as Hamiltucky.
Oh.
Thank you, Wilson. I meant to ask you that earlier. You know, for all the years, and it's crazy how much he's been bringing it up lately. And then other people are bringing up, well, you know, he did grow up in Cincinnati. No, motherfucker, he grew up in Hamilton. It was like whitewash America. I mean, that motherfucker was running the brutal streets of Cincinnati from Hamilton.
Yeah, they were worse than LA, worse than New York, man.
Yeah. The weird thing about Cincinnati is, for the most part, it's like most big cities here in Ohio. Like Cincinnati, Columbus, Toledo.
What, they suck?
Dying off?
No, like the actual cities themselves are pretty tame. When you get around the areas around those cities, that's when shit gets a little funky.
Oh, better start watching it there, Wilson. You're going to get racist now?
Yeah, but Wilson, you got to remember, you're talking about 1981, Hamilton, Ohio. All right?
Ooh, man.
81, Hamilton, Ohio. It was the land of arcades and video stores. There you go.
So he was running the streets of Cincinnati a year before he went to Fort Knox?
Hamilton.
No, he was running the streets of Hamilton, Ohio.
On the weekends, man.
Yeah, on the weekends, from this video store to that video arcade to maybe down to Tower Records to see what new Bon Jovi album came out. You know, doing errands for mom. I got to get back to the fucking old folks home by 11 so I can scrub the floors and make sure I empty all the piss pots.
Not sure how he made time to, do, train in ninjutsu in Dayton because.
Oh yeah, 2 jobs besides that as well. So
3 jobs.
He's a traveling motherfucker, man.
Because that's one of the things I'm going to call you out, Vaughn. That the drive between Hamilton and Dayton, that's a fucking schlepped. Like that's about an hour.
I'm still trying to figure out when he was the #1 rock and roll disc jockey here in New York City. And I'm still trying to figure out what borough he lived in because I can't find any public records with an Irvin Eugene Helton Jr. or a James Paul Helton living in New York City here. So I'm trying to figure out what borough, because just like I do with my mob research, I want to go film a video outside the apartment that you lived in which borough, James Paul Helton?
Well,
there you go.
He didn't use his real name, Charlie. You know that. It's a stage.
What was it? Big Daddy Poppin'sits? What? I don't know. Was he on hip hop? He was on hip hop station. I'm Big Daddy Poppin'sits.
It might be for the fact that Vaughn does think that the Bronx is a borough.
Actually, it is. It is a borough.
The Bronx?
Yeah, it pretty much.
Yeah.
Is.
The Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and Staten Island.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna like you have like a punchline with that, Wilson.
Well, hey, this is from a motherfucker that thinks a hot dog is a sandwich. So
I was just gonna bring that out. No, it's not.
No, a hot dog is a sandwich. You're just
no, it's not.
No, it's just you're old and wrong.
No, it's not. No, is
No,
a
it's just
burrito a fucking sandwich? You're from fucking Ohio. What do you know? You're from Ohio.
Oh,
Bologna is a
I
hot
love
dog
you, man.
pancake.
that's fire.
No, I love Wilson. Wilson's the coolest motherfucker I've ever met. Wilson is everywhere. Wilson is my man. If I want to know what's going on in every single drama community, Wilson is the man to ask.
Nah, I don't know. Adam's still my guy. He'd kick his ass in a fight. And Minecraft.
I still fucking hate Hannah Stout for besmirching our baby faced little goblin Adamy.
No shit, man.
Calling him ugly.
I know.
Did you see I gave her a shout out?
No.
Grampy saw it.
I know I was part of her Discord for all of about 15 seconds.
Oh yeah, it got oh geez, they got raided one night. I woke up, I joined the Discord, and next thing I know, that Discord's not there. They privatized it. I don't know why.
The second I got that link, I just joined and said, "Sup, cunts." Kicked. Wasn't banned. Came back a second time. I'm like, y'all a bunch of bitches. Banned.
Wow. I just think it's funny. You know, it's like, you guys, leave us alone.
Let's do a 3-hour live stream and beg for no drama. Please, no drama.
Oh, yeah.
Then get off of the live stream. Like, you name in the title is no more drama. And then you sit there for 3 hours waiting for people to come in.
Yeah.
Like, you're asking for it.
Yeah.
Which Shanny for Christ video from how many years ago was this?
All of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Shanny 2.0.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, I think Shanny's smarter.
No,
well, that's not setting the bar too high either. So
no, it's not. You ever watch those underwater documentaries where you see whales, you know, like in the Antarctic, and you see those sucker fish suck to the state?
Little parasites.
I thought exactly. Well, listen, folks, I'm going to end this. Wow, gee whiz. Grampy's not doing 13-hour streams anymore.
Folks, like, cut the man some slack. He's had at least a baker's dozen heart attacks just in the stream alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Still waiting for that heart attack.
I mean,
He's just been sucking him up because he's a real man.
You can hear his heart crinkling from here.
Yeah, he's got that crinkle heart.
I've had to edit
it. Funny as fuck.
I've had to edit his obituary 4 times already.
Oh no, he's got one too.
Uh-oh. Gee whiz. So that being said, folks, Schneider, you got anything you want? Or Wilson, let's start with you because you probably got absolutely nothing.
Fun Brigade, great. He's got super chats. Go give the old man some money.
Yeah, and remember, you can. I'll cover that in a moment. But thanks a lot, there, Wilson.
Yeah, you're welcome for the half the $115 you got.
Jesus, you're gonna keep bringing that up?
Yes,
you want
I
me
am.
to give it back to you?
No,
I haven't cashed it. I haven't even received banking information for
I wasn't the first, but I was still the greatest.
Yeah.
Okay, you sucked my dick better than anybody else. God damn, Wilson. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah, exactly.
I beg your pardon.
Okay, I wasn't insinuating that you did, Charlie. I said he did better than anybody else who did. I'm not saying it's just because somebody gave me money or joined Grampy's whatever the fuck it is I have.
Listen, I don't care what you're telling me I'm good at. Just tell me that I'm the best.
Okay, you're the best, buddy. Yeah.
Did you stand in line 3 hours at the post office to do that, Wilson?
Well, you also didn't suck my dick either, there, Charlie. So
not yet.
Well, no. I mean, Charlie did an amazing fucking thing Wilson, you just did something you're good at, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's gotten you through life, you know, and if that's what works for you, buddy, you know, you're good. You're the
You know what, motherfucker? I do want that $50 back.
That's no way to speak to your son.
If I'm not,
shit.
I'm not talking to Buck.
God, man.
Burnt Toast is regretting she ever heard the word #Fun Brigade.
Oh no, she's got
Never.
Wilson's just upset that I was Grampy's first and he got my sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
So, Mud, you got anything? I mean,
I was hoping to get a video done for this weekend, but it doesn't look like it's going to get done soon. I might get it done tonight, but it won't be up until tomorrow or Tuesday. So there's that, but always got my live stream on Wednesday night, 6:30 Central Time.
yeah, I tried to raid your side chat for a few minutes, but you guys were having too much fun, and I was too high to keep going. Like, Grampy's a loose cannon. So that's how you talk about me. Huh?
Yeah, you're a lot of fun, but
yeah, sometimes I kind of I get it. It's not the first time I've been called worse, you know.
There was Lois in Minneapolis that one time.
I'm as far. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we don't. Lois is a different story.
We don't talk about Lois.
So anyway, Burnt Toast. Do you got anything? Or are you are you going to be doing any Lolscow things and stuff with that black guy TV guy person?
Oh yeah, Black Toast. Yeah, we should probably schedule one of those. But I'll have a Minute of Lolscow out. The last 2 weeks have been crazy with Monty's schedule and my schedule and everything. But I just put out a video a couple days ago about Shanny and Rev. It's really funny. Shout out to Hannah Stout. And another video I'm working on about Vaughn, and he's going to love it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, folks.
#Fun Brigade.
Yeah, absolutely, folks. Remember, like I said, folks, we're here periodically. We're on Grampy Lobster Time. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Folks, remember, I can be your Grampy for only $2.99 a month. Make an old man happy. And if you're not watching this on the official 2018 Grampy Lobster channel, you're getting played. And
Hold on.
What?
As the book of Tony Soprano tells you, go fuck yourself. I never even got my final quote. I love you, brother.
Go ahead.
That's fair.
No, that was it.
Can we just end it? God damn it, you people.